Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a capsule selection. As always, I have a vibe for you. Just realistically speaking, I got one that's of choice. This is choosing signals. These are fragrances that just don't become attraction and allure. These are fragrances that basically signal flirtation. And so we know in the realm of attraction, your choice of fragrance can be a potent and reliable ally as well as the perfect wingman. And so the right scent doesn't just complement your presence, it amplifies your allure. It's one that makes you unforgettable, as I love to tell you guys. These are tried and true fragrances in my collection that are basically giving a quick, nice impression on a person that has basically come back as a twofold impression, meaning someone came back to me and asked me certain questions in flirtatious manners. And so today we're going to dive into this curated selection of fragrances that are designed to act as the ultimate triggers, the triggers of choosing signals, flirtation. Each one of these is crafted to basically captivate and leave a lasting impression, and we know that these fragrances do. These are tried and true. So pull up a seat, pour a glass, and of course, let's enhance. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Thedrydownscw, the lifestyle channel where we as enthusiasts aspire to enhance and elevate our olfactive sensory experiences through the understanding of the different aromas, facts, and nuances of scent, cigars, and wines. I'm your host, Chris. Welcome to today's experience. Now, the fragrances on this list aren't just there. These are fragrances that are signals. They're signals that you are a man who understands the attraction that starts long before words are exchanged between a woman and you. From a smoldering, warm embrace of Smoking Hot by Kilian to the just seductively refined complexity of the vibrant, effervescent aromatic scent REHAB by Initial Parfums. These are choices. These are wingmen. These are ones we pick when we want to go out and have a signifier. And so as your secret weapon for unforgettable impressions, these are perfect scents for that. These are just fragrances. They are a statement of intent. Choosing signals. Let's dive deeper into a few of these fragrances that I have on my list. These are ones that have a profile that is created and crafted to have an enhancing profile for you. Presence in your room, presence in every room, trigger sensuality, and ignite attraction. And so the first one I have on my list is REHAB from the house of Initial Parfums, as stated, and it is one of those indelibly sexy fragrances that you need in your collection. So let's get right into it. So first up on the list, like I stated, Initial Parfums REHAB. Sensuality, harmony and refinement and sensuality. Just a sexy fragrance. REHAB from Initial Parfums is a unisex woody fragrance that has a spicy embodiment of it, balancing allure and attraction. It's one that screams flirtations, one that has gotten me multiple compliments when wearing. I told a story back when I first did videos about how I was accosted in a elevator by a group of women over this particular scent. It opens with this fresh bergamot and lavender aromatic mix of spices and citruses and aromatic touches, settling on a smooth yet invigorating tone. And that about this is what makes it so intriguing, because it has this spicy backbone to it. It's reminiscent to scents like Spice Bomb. The heart, it reveals a harmonious blend of spicy nutmeg type scents, kitchen scents, a little bit of like a cumin, not so much, I wouldn't say cumin, somewhere in the line of nutmeg and sweet spicy cinnamon, things like that are just the warming and inviting essences of spices, sweet spices. A little bit of earthy vetiver in this one, introducing a warm depth to that, and the base is enriched with the best of creamy sandalwoods and an alluring musk, which is ultimately the key player and hallmark to this particular scent. It culminates in a polished, elegant, finished fragrance that exudes confidence, and I think this is one of the most sexy clean musk fragrances from the house of Initial Parfums. It's refined, it's harmonious, it's soothing, warm, elegant, and alluring, and that's exactly what you want when you want to have choosing signals and flirtation. First up, Initial Parfums REHAB. Next up on the list, we're going to ignite the night. We're going to send out the signals with the scent of smoldering intensity, and that is the scent of Smoking Hot by Kilian. Sexy fragrance. This is one that's a unisex oriental spicy fragrance that was launched in around 2023. It was on many people's lists when it first came out as a head turner. Many people jumped off it. It's when I wanted to know more about it. The shisha accord, the apple smokiness, that beautiful lush apple that has that cinnamon vibe to it. Then the tobacco, just beautiful. This is one that is crafted by perfumer Matthew Nardine. I don't hear much about his name. I'm trying to feel more for his fragrance building and his fragrance composition, but this one here, sexy as hell. It opens with a tantalizing blend of apple, cinnamon, and smoke. That's sexy, sweet, attractive, and alluring, creating an intimate yet immediate aura of warmth and mystery. It is the heart that introduces notes of tobacco, vanilla, and moss that give you this beautiful scent profile. The Orchinox is just a sexy composition note to add to a scent like this, because you don't see it much in fragrances that are tobacco laden and heavy. When it adds that depth and touch of sweetness, it's sexy. It settles to the base that reveals the bourbon vanilla, that Orchinox I'm speaking about, and licorice, kind of like a black licorice accord. That's very sexy and appealing. Isoy Super or something that's in this as well. You can smell how that cedar / sandalwood scent profile comes off. It's very intriguing, very inviting, leaving a seductive trail, exactly what you want as a wingman, and when you're doing choosing signals and sending out the signal of flirtation. It's smoldering, it's intense, it's mysterious, it's warm, it's seductive, and it's captivatingly bold. And that's what you want, and that's what I'm speaking on today. Sending out choosing signals. This is a perfect scent for someone who wants a different path in their tobacco fragrance with that shisha smell. Apple, very nicely done, very well composed, intense sillage, intense projection, and one that I cannot wait to take into the club scene, because what it's done for me on my daily wear, my utilitarian use for it, just to chill. I know what it's going to do in a club profile or a situation where you want to go out and smell attractive around others. That is Smoking Hot by Kilian. Get your nose on it. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to talk about the fragrance where luxury meets mystery. Creation E, known as Enigma in some formats and some forms around the world. A scent done by REHAB Parfums, is a unisex style fragrance. To me, this one here can go either way. It's known for being a fragrance for men, but I've smelled this on women, and man, it's such an attractive fragrance. They're not choosing the one that's going straight for the femme. They're going to the unisex / homme level, and they're doing a good job wearing these fragrances, man. So you know when you smell something on a female, or they're choosing something, it's something ultimately they want to smell on you as well, especially when it's straddling that unisex masculine era. This one intertwines mystery and opulence. The composition of this one features a rich blend of cognac, tobacco, and vanilla, creating an intoxicating and luxurious aroma. This one hints at a spicy ginger as well, with a pepper complexity that comes off sexy, spicy, effervescent. It's sweet, it's woody, it's floral, it's gourmand. While the base of benzoin in this one and ambergris provide a warm and enveloping finish, you can't go wrong with the luxurious feel of Creation E in a situation when you want to create a situation of sending signals. Luxurious, mysterious, intoxicating, complex, warm, opulent, and enigmatic is exactly what Creation E is. And when you're making choosing signals and want to receive them back, a scent like this with a boozy touch to it, you can't go wrong with it. Once again, Creation E by the house of REHAB Parfums. Ladies and gentlemen, next up, Overture by the house of Thedrydownscw. This is one when you want to step into a symphony of contrast, where vibrancy meets comfort, and it's one of those ooh-wee fragrances. I've talked to you quite a few times lately about those fragrances that really give off a certain appeal, a certain magnetism. And when it comes to fragrances that I choose for certain situations and occurrences, one of the fragrances that is a secret weapon in my arsenal is Overture. I've talked about this ad nauseum in some cases when I first bought it, left it off a few lists, but right now it's time to let you guys know that this fragrance here, the combination of cinnamon and vanilla in this one with that fig note, it's one of a compliment magnet style. This is a fruity floral. This is that type of fragrance, and this celebrates that art of contrast when it opens with a vibrant burst of citruses, complemented by a creamy nuance of fig and magnolia flower. But magnolia is so sexy. Think about Pardon, how they use magnolia in Pardon. Think about how they use the cinnamon in certain accords in Pardon. It's a very complex fragrance, not similar to Pardon, but think about what it is they use and how that becomes masculine on the skin. It's complemented, like I said, by the use of fig in this one. The fig note is just a fig leaf, so it's a green enveloping fruit note. It's kind of like you would think of how they use petitgrain versus orange blossom. It has that nuance of a fig, but just comes off slightly green. This one here, at the heart, it introduces a spicy interplay of cinnamon, which is one of the most evocative of sexy signaling when it comes to a use of a kitchen spice. Cinnamon, A little bit of a floral undertone, like I said, from the Bulgarian rose and ylang ylang. That magnolia leads and bleeds into that mid, creating a rich and multi-dimensional experience for you, someone who wants to be chosen. The base is comforting, a blend of sandalwood, amber, and vanilla, enveloping you in a soft, inviting embrace, and it is sexy as hell. This one here, slightly vibrant, contrasting to a rich, multi-dimensional comfort, inviting, versatile, sexy, appealing, nosegasms. Get your nose on the scent Overture by the House of Zirzhov. I don't think you'll be disappointed. And when you get to the base, when it has this sandalwood, frankincense, amber, vanilla, and cashmere wood, think about what you're smelling about in the cashmere wood. Cashmere wood is one of the leading players in a lot of these Arabic house fragrances because it works. These fragrances that are being put to the market with this cashmere wood from these houses, they know what they're doing to attract certain profiles to or make a profile that is certainly attractive to others. It's a sexy, sexy nuance to put into a fragrance, and this one has quite a bit of the undertone of cashmere wood. It's that velvety, smooth layering context and texture to a fragrance that just comes off sexy. So get your nose on Overture by the House of Zirzhov. I don't think you'll be disappointed. Ladies and gentlemen, next up, Grand Soir by the House of Maison Francis Kurkdjian. You can't make a list like this when the evocation of the scents you're talking about is truly put into profile seamlessly in a scent. We're talking about choosing signals. I'm talking about choosing signals and about being chosen. And how could I not have something as timeless as the night sky when it talks about evening scents that go off into a sexy, allure, and attractive realm? Benzoin, tonka bean, vanilla, sexy cinnamon leaf. This is Grand Soir. It's a unisex oriental fragrance that embodies the elegance of a grand evening, and that's what you get indelibly. It's a one that has this feature-rich, harmonious blend of amber, benzoin, and tonka. That's it. Point blank. You got the sweet provincial lavender in the top, but it's fleeting. It's something that creates a slight aromatic lift to the fragrance, but nothing really impressionable. It's sexy from all the layers of sexy, sweet, amber-rich fragrance layers and nuances, creating a very luxurious and enveloping aroma around you. This one hints at all of the vanilla accords, all of the labdanum, sexy, slightly sweet, suede leather accords. And the depth of the sweetness is never juvenile. It's something sexy as hell, resulting in a scent that is both captivating and serene. Bring someone in, let them sit in your bubble, concentrate on you, get your scent profile, and they're going to ask you for more than a number. They're going to ask for an invitation out on a date. They're going to be flirtatious. This one here, addictive, elegant, luxurious, enveloping of a sweet, harmonious blend of all the amber-rich and vanilla-rich fragrances with benzoin that you smelled. Timeless classic in the vein of evening out, night out, and date night fragrances. This is Grand Soir. Get your nose on it. Next up, let's pull in some classics from the genre of vanilla. The beauty of Cecile Zarokian comes out into play in the contrast where brightness dances with warmth. She is one who plays with the best of ingredients and one who's triggering so many memories for us all. This one here has the most intriguing thing in it to me and my nose, which is the vanilla mixed with a blue ginger, something I had never smelled, something I'm trying to get a nuance of. I have actually found that in a oil form from a local botanical, and it smells tremendous, and you get that in this, in which I never picked up because I always thought it was just a normal green note. For me, sexy. This is oriental floral fragrance at its best. This is one that captivates with dynamic contrast. It opens with a lively blend of bergamot and the ginger flower. It introduces then a beautiful, energetic, zesty play and interplay to the mid of cardamom, black currant bud, which is that sprightly feel, and a Turkish rose. This simply melodic. The heart, it reveals the creamy facets of vanilla and the green nuance of that cardamom. It then transitions to the base, which is a rich combination of sandalwood, ambers, and that provides the smooth, comforting finish that lingers around a patchouli note and musk. Ultimately, a sexy cardamom, green, leafy vanilla that smells sexy, vibrant, alluring. It's captivating, it's dynamic, it's lively, it's harmonious, and it's comfortable. And at the end of the day, it's memorable. Annie by the House of Nishane, or Nishane, done by Cecile Zarokian. A Queen on a Storm. Get your nose on that. Fellas, we're going to talk about some scents from the House of the Spirit of Dubai. Spirit of Dubai, it came on with such a fury, and some of the scents, they came and they went. They are just beautiful, beautiful, opulent, rich, captivating Middle Eastern fragrances. The House Spirit of Dubai, they've made some excellent, just tradition meets grandeur. That's what the House of Majalis or House of Spirit of Dubai is. Majalis is one that is a unisex fruity floral fragrance that opens with a opulent traditional scent. It has this smell of Middle Eastern fragrances that I've smelled on the market previously, but never as rich, never as complex, and never as inviting. And then these Spirit of Dubai doesn't make fleeting fragrances. They make some well composed fragrances with a plethora of notes. At the end of the day, Majalis is on this list for one simple reason. It's a signal. It's a choosing signal. It opens with this rich and ripe fruit note with spices and just this confectionery feel, evoking a grandeur of the Middle Eastern style fragrances. And basically, you feel like you're in a mall in Dubai. That's how this one comes across. The heart opens with the sexy saffron and clove with dates and patchouli. It then transitions to create this beautiful, dense textured aroma that is both earthy and regal, with this sweetness that comes and never leaves from the opening of all these plethora of fruit accords. Candied fruits. It's just a gorgeous wearing fragrance. It hints at the base with the benzoin and tonka bean and tobacco feel with honey warmth and a little bit of an amber feel to it as well, which is basically the base providing a sensual, long-lasting finish and just comes off sexy. Like I said, traditional smelling of Middle Eastern fragrances. It's opulent, it's rich, it's regal, it's warm, and it's sensual, and it's a signaler of flirtation. Get your nose on Majalis by the House of Spirit of Dubai. Really, really enjoyable fragrance, fellas. Really enjoyable. Get your nose on it. Gentlemen, last on this list, we're going to just go ahead and wind this list down with one of the newer compositions in my wardrobe. This is AYLAN by the House of Day 3 Fragrances. This is one that was hyped up going to Scent Explorer. One that I wanted to get my nose on, and one that came in at a price point of around $180. I said, why not? It's Christmas. Let me get my nose on this scent and see what it is that Day 3 is doing with a rose oud combination style of fragrance with some vanilla to it. Ultimately, pleased. This is one that embodies the essence of modern elegance. That's what AYLAN does. It's that twist. It's spicy, it's sweet, it's resonance. It's a fragrance that balances contemporary sophistication with that bold creativity of using rose vanilla. It is one that opens with a bright citrus and an aromatic feel from an elemi resin. Love elemi resin. I talked about elemi resin ad nauseum before. It's a sweet lemony resinous feel. It's one that once you put it on the skin, it creates a clean yet striking first impression on your skin, but it is ultimately a resin that smells quite well. It is then in this fragrance where the heart reveals a combination of spicy, leathery saffron and rich, opulent rose absolute. Sexy as hell. That's the combination to the vanilla that people are talking about, and that's the combination to the vanilla that is strikingly rich, strikingly captivating, and a signal of flirtation and a signaler of come hither style of fragrances. This one here, loving the way that the rose and oud continues into the base of this one. It features a smoky oud with a creamy cashmere and a sexy vanilla that you smelled. It's one that is in the vein of Baby Cat. It's one that's in the vein of Vanna Gloria. It's one that I would think that whatever company Dominique Ropion is procuring his vanilla from, it's impactful, it's sexy, and it's in this fragrance. You can't miss it. You won't miss it. If you've been intrigued by those fragrances and you're not one who wants to go and follow that hype train, but you want to have a vanilla like it, get your nose on the scent AYLAN. It results to basically have a scent that is one that exudes modern sophistication and elegance with a daring twist to it. It's rose and vanilla. It's not like Baby Cat as an essence, because the rose is never in Baby Cat. The rose is not in Vanna Gloria. Those are more incense laden. But this one here, that vanilla, it's one of the continuing contributions to a sexy profile, and one that's about choosing signals. So this one, if you want something that's bold, modern, clean, warm, seductive, sophisticated, and long lasting, Day 3 Fragrances makes those, and this one here is one of their best so far. Again, Day 3 Fragrances, AYLAN, sexy, rose, oud, smoky vanilla, sensual, sexy. Get your nose on it. Perfect wingman. Ladies and gentlemen, you have to know, at the end of the day, choosing signals aren't just given, they are earned. The right fragrance ensures you always get the first pick when you're going out into these certain venues. Man, you got to walk the walk and talk the talk. Of course, you got to have your game in your mouth. But when it comes to these fragrances and your dress code, you can ultimately become first in line for many of these beautiful women, guys, when it comes to attention. And it's about not just looking the part, it's about embodying the energy that draws others in. And the fragrance we've basically explored here are just the ones that do that. They are very sexy. They're weathering the storm type of fragrances. They go through the paces from everybody on the internet. Everybody in frag comments talked about how well these fragrances are, but you won't smell like anyone around you, because this is a sophisticated bunch that I'm talking to, men who are not like others. And I know when you wear these fragrances, you're going to smell so alluring, so sexy, that the first woman you come in contact with is going to know that you mean business when you're flirting with her. And so for me, talking about these fragrances, the warm, mysterious, and captivatingly bold fragrances that are in this collection, each of these scents have a scent of giving off a powerful choosing signal. And the ultimate triggers for attraction is just that, this scent and you. Tell your story. Remember, the right fragrance doesn't just leave a trail, it creates a story. And until next time and until next video, you guys continue to enhance, and I'll see you then. Peace.